Coming up on Bloom, how to develop a millionaire mindset. Original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, is sharing his wisdom.
This is, over time, something that we learned was how to deal with failure. Because I'm in the business of launching products. You're not going to hit on 100%. Never.
Kevin will give you insight as to whether your next idea could be a hit. And later, performance coach Debbie Lundberg will help you gain the confidence for success. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, a full hour dedicated to your health and wellness. So get ready to bloom. Experts will tell you the greatest thing that stops people from moving forward in life is a fear of failure. But successful people will tell you you have to face your battles. So today, we're going to help you develop a millionaire mindset, like original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, so you can develop a way of thinking and behavior that is focused on achieving the good things in life and gaining financial success. This involves setting goals, taking risks, and making smart decisions to move forward in life. But even leaders like Harrington will tell you that doesn't mean you won't face failure along the way. Joining me now is serial entrepreneur, the inventor of the infomercial and an original shark on the hit television series Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Kevin, it is so great to see you, my friend.
Hey, Gail, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Kevin, when we came up with the millionaire mindset idea today, I'm like, we have to talk to Kevin Harrington because this is something that you've had for your entire career. And so many people have been trying to answer the question, from Warren Buffett to Zig Ziglar, why 2% succeed and 98% don't? And you've had like a front row seat to that your whole career.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. So you mentioned Zig Ziglar. And Zig, I was fortunate to have some great mentors in my life. My father was a mentor way back, but Zig Ziglar actually was a mentor to me. And I'll never forget one of his most powerful beliefs. And this was a guiding light for me for my entire business career, going all the way back to the early 80s when I got started, that you can get everything in life you want, millionaire mindset, right? If you just help enough other people get what they want. And so when inventors would come into me, they wanted to get distribution. They wanted to be on TV. And so if I could just help them, I could also help me in the process. And so that's really how it started. Now, not everything would work in the beginning. We would try and it would fail. And then we were disappointed. But this is, over time, something that we learned was how to deal with failure. Because I'm in the business of launching products. You're not going to hit on 100%. Never. I mean, it's just like baseball. You're going to, if you bat 1 out of 3 times, you get a hit, you're going to be one of the best baseball players in the history of baseball. So in the product business, if I can hit 1 out of 3, it's almost a similar kind of thing, because we were able to, the winners, to be very, very successful, right? So we had a philosophy on failure. And this was another famous person, but not a mentor to me, but Winston Churchill. And Winston said that success is being able to go from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, okay? So I think, well, how do you get enthused to be failing? But the reality is, in the early days when we'd fail, we would think, oh my God, this is terrible. But how do we learn from that? How do we go to the next round and do it better, smarter? And what we said was, oftentimes in the early days, we had a mentality to finish everything up almost to completion: the product, the development, the tooling, the manufacturing, the inventory, the packaging, 4-color beautiful retail packaging. Then we would test the product. And by the way, it would take a year to do all of that, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then it would bomb. And we're like, well, wait a minute, why did we do the retail packaging? It's not going to retail. So we started a process of creating MVPs, minimal viable products. And then we could take those, test them before we invested the big money, and we said we can test before we invest, and hopefully we get a home run, but if not, let's fail fast and fail cheap, right?
Yeah, I was going to say fast to failure is a great model because you're not wasting people's time and or money.
Instead of spending a year and $500,000, we could spend 3 months and $25,000 and find out if we had something successful or not. Then focus on the winners. And that was the key for me, was learning how to focus on the winners.
Very, very interesting. You know, we've done a lot. We've talked to psychologists and all these people that talk about like maybe malperfectionism, which is a more, I feel like I fall under that category where I'm so afraid of failure and I do get defeated, and I'm just the opposite of what Winston Churchill said. How do you, a man who I know you live a very detailed life, you wake up in the morning, you work out, you have a system, and, and you are like a shark. I feel like you sleep while you're still moving in life. So how do you keep from losing the enthusiasm? Because I've known you for decades and I've never seen you ever lose your enthusiasm.
So part of this process is making sure that you have enough opportunities to take a look at. Back in the early 80s, I would get 1 or 2 deals a month. And if you only have 1 or 2 to look at, then you've got to make some decisions, but they may not work, so you got a tougher time. Now we've positioned ourselves to get over 1,000 inquiries a month from product developers. So now we whittle those down. You take 1,000, whittle it down to maybe 20 or 25 that actually have great potential, and now focus on the 20 or 25, and you're going to find 2 or 3 winners out of that batch. But if you only started with 10, you're not going to find 2 or 3 winners. You start with 1,000, and you have a much better chance. So this involved me putting a business plan together to go out and seek more products. I went to the houseware show, the hardware show, the fitness show, the beauty show, the toy show, the PGA golf show. Just last week in Orlando, PGA had their annual golf PGA Super Show. And so we did a deal with the PGA in conjunction with the PGA on the floor of the trade show. We called it the Golf Pitch Challenge. We took pitches from over 200 entrepreneurs in the golf business to present their hottest, craziest, best product in the world of golf. And we're financing and investing in several of those deals right now, just weeks later. So this is kind of what we create, are these opportunities to get good deal flow.
So not only do people come to you, but the shark swims out to find what's out there.
Yeah, because the people that come to me, that's going to be one view of the world. I like to go out and see my view of the world. And as I mentioned, Golf Pitch Challenge, we do this at the hardware show, the houseware show, the fitness shows, all the beauty show. John Paul DeJorio, Paul Mitchell, Patron Tequila. He was a shark on Shark Tank. And he called me and said, hey, Kevin, I'm doing something at the beauty show in Las Vegas. Would you want to be a shark and a judge with me on a panel? I said, what's it called? It's called the Beauty Pitch Challenge. And I said, yes, that's what I do. So we do this in all categories of industry, and we get lots of deal flow.
Very interesting stuff. Well, this is so interesting that we're not going to break the flow of this. Kevin's sticking around, and we're going to talk to him about his incredible journey to becoming the huge success he is today. Bloom will be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle Guyardo, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website.
That's bloomtampabay.com.
Welcome back to Bloom. We're with serial entrepreneur, the inventor of the infomercial, and an original shark on the hit television series Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington.
And I'm working on an article featuring some of his incredible career, and it's mind-blowing, to be honest.
It is mind-blowing. Kevin, back in the 80s, you basically invented the infomercial.
So thank you, Gayle. It's great to be here, Brody. So I was a young entrepreneur, Cincinnati, Ohio, and I chose to be in the business of selling businesses. Pizza parlors, delicatessens, flower shops, bars, restaurants, import, export, you name it. And I had the books and records of all the businesses I was selling, so because I had to show how the performance was. But the bottom line is, this was very exciting for me as an entrepreneur to see the workings of businesses. But one day I ordered cable television and I got 30 channels as the initial package. So today we have hundreds of channels. The early 80s, when you got cable, it was 30 channels. As I'm going through all the channels, CNN News and HBO movies, I get to the last channel, it's Discovery, and there's nothing on. So I called the cable company, they just had these colored bars on the screen. I said, what's going on? They said, oh, Discovery's a new channel. It's an 18-hour-a-day channel because they don't have a budget for 24 hours. I said, so 6 hours is nothing? And they said, yes. So I said, well, let me put a show on, and I'm going to sell businesses. I'm going to generate leads for my salespeople. I had 14 salespeople, much like a real estate office has salespeople that sells real estate. We had 14 salespeople selling businesses and the real estate associated with it. So I had the Own Your Own Business show, and it was 30 minutes long. We were driving leads into everybody, and it was awesome. And it was a much lower lead cost than we had previous. So one day I was at the Philadelphia Home Show and selling a home and garden store business, and there was a guy with a knife in his hand cutting through a Coca-Cola can and a muffler and sneakers, and it's called the Ginsu knife. And when I watched that presentation, I said, that is one of the most powerful pitches I've ever seen. So I got with the guy that was doing this, Arnold Morris, and I said, I want to film you and take you to millions of people on Discovery Channel. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about, but if I don't have to travel anymore, then let's go, okay? Because he would go to 40 trade shows a year and sell the Ginsu knife, the same pitch over and over. I recorded it one time. We took it to the masses, and we did hundreds of millions of dollars on that product. So that was when my life changed, because from that point forward, I was shooting 30-minute shows, infomercials on products. So we did the Jack LaLanne juicer, and then we got involved with Tony Little, did all of his fitness infomercials, George Foreman, Billy Mays. We can keep adding to the list, but some of the modern day celebrities, we did Kim Kardashian's first infomercial, 50 Cent, and he had headphones. And so you name it, celebrities, etc. Suzanne Summers, we've worked with many, many, many over the years, and it's just been an amazing industry.
Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible. Nice. Well, I guess you're the guy to ask then, like sort of the subject of my article is about, and you speak on it a lot, is like the importance of networking.
Networking.
Yes, like, so let me ask you, like, who is networking for? Is it only people interested in making businesses, or like, what is really the purpose for?
Well, I think I've been a big networker my whole life. I mean, I've been involved with, I've started a few of my own organizations, actually. So when I was a young entrepreneur, I mentioned that I started this infomercial business, but I was hanging out with some other young entrepreneurs, and we said, you know, we should form an organization, networking organization, and let's call it the Entrepreneurs Organization. So Michael Dell got involved, Ted Leonsis, who was #2 at AOL, myself, a few other guys, and we formed EO, and EO is now the world's largest entrepreneurial organization in 55 countries, 160 cities, tens of billions of dollars of sales a year that are generated by their member organization, members of the organization. So EO was powerful. I also started ERA, the Electronic Retailing Association, in conjunction with Greg Rinker and a few other entrepreneurs in the As Seen on TV business. And this was an organization for everyone in the industry to be able to network and hang out and meet the media people, so meet the production people. All the industry came several times a year to these big shows on electronic retailing, and not only did it work inside the United States, but we also took infomercials in into Asia, Latin America, Europe, and the Middle East. So when EO and ERA became global organizations, we were now able to have chapters in all the major countries and do business virtually everywhere in the world that we wanted to. So in over 100 countries. That's what networking did for us.
That's incredible right there. We only have about a minute left, but I did want to ask you, with the changing world of technology, I know you still go out to trade shows and you're still out there meeting and greeting, but people can come to you and say, Kevin, I think I have an idea.
Yes.
Can I make a go of it? And you have an incredible vetting process.
Yes, I have we get 1,000+ inquiries a month from all over the world, and I'm fortunate. I've been in the family business I worked with my father for years, and he retired and worked with me, and then my brother worked with me. Now I have 2 boys that work for me, and they help me run the analysis of all these products that are coming to us on a monthly basis. So those 1,000 pitches come in. They handle, doing the due diligence and vetting them, watching them, and then on a monthly basis we meet and decides which ones we want to take to the next step. So this is part of networking that brings these opportunities to us, but then we also like to focus on picking a couple of these a month because there's so many good opportunities out there.
That's so incredible. I mean, it really is. Well, Kevin, thank you for this conversation. We so appreciate you. It's been an honor to have you on Bloom.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And Brody, thank you.
All right. We're going to share this story on BloomTampaBay.com. And we are thrilled. Kevin joined us on our podcast, the Bloom Health Club, in the WFLA Now Streaming Center to continue this incredible conversation.
You can stream the full episode anytime, wherever you go for podcasts.
We'll be back with more Bloom right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Marina Point.
The luxury mindset is having a community of like-minded people surrounding you for support. And for boat owners, living your best life has never been easier with the newest waterfront community in Tampa Bay. In today's waterfront living at Marina Point, I had the chance to meet an incredible couple and learn more about their new lifestyle. I'm with Kathy and Ernie Petrone, residents here at Marina Point, and boy, this is living, guys.
Yes, it is.
It's incredible. And look, Crew Wine Cellar set us up with some drinks and a charcuterie board, and this is kind of an area where everyone comes together. Kathy, tell me a little bit about what it's like having such a sense of community here.
Well, we refer to this as the adult dorm. We've met so many people, especially everybody coming in at the same time. Everybody's eager to meet and make new friends. We socialize down by the pool. We socialize in here, meeting people in the lobby. It's fantastic.
It sounds that way. I'm jealous when you hear about all the friendships that are forming here. It's amazing. And Ernie, there's so much to do just in walking distance. There's restaurants. You guys have a boat here, right?
We have a boat. We keep it right in the slip down there. It's so nice to have that. The nice thing that we really like, or the greatest thing, is like from our elevator, our private elevator of our room, we can go ahead and just hit the elevator and get down to the biggest amenity deck that I think is in Tampa. And you just go down a little bit further, it's just a few steps away that we're stepping onto our boat, our slip, and off away we go, whether it's Anna Maria or down to Hickman Key. It's just paradise. And there's even times where we just use it as a floating living room with our friends, and people are coming down, and it's pretty fantastic.
That is really cool. And I think the entire country is looking at Tampa Bay. I mean, this city has grown by leaps and bounds, and the location here, you're, a stone's throw to downtown. You can easily get to the Armature Works area. St. Pete, right across the bridge here. I mean,
How is that, Kathy?
That is one of the main reasons that we chose this area. We saw the beautiful building, the fact that we can have a slip at the marina and have a boat here, but then also we evaluated that, we have season tickets for the Lightning, so getting there in minutes, going to the airport, St. Pete, we're just so centrally located, it's perfect.
I know a lot of locals live here at Marina Point, but a lot of people from other cities are hearing about the towers and all the amenities. So Ernie, talk to me about just like, if you had to tell somebody what it's like to live here, what's the experience, what's the vibe?
Well, the interesting thing is many of the people that live here have not lived in a vertical high-rise before. And until you've lived in one, it's very liberating, it's very carefree. And when you want to leave, you lock your place and you leave it and you move on and you come home and you're like you're back on vacation. So it's a vacation place.
A 24-hour, 7 days a week vacation surrounded by beautiful water, boats, things to do, walking. I mean, it's just an amazing place to live.
Yeah, even like dinner, we overlook all of this every night when we're having dinner. We don't have to go to a fancy restaurant at the top of the building. We have it all right here.
Guys, thank you so much for introducing me to this amazing property.
Thank you.
Marina Point is an amazing place to call home. You can schedule an exclusive lifestyle preview by visiting online at marinapoint.com, or you can email directly info@marinapoint.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Marina Point.
Welcome back to Bloom. Thinking like a millionaire and developing a millionaire mindset isn't really an overnight process. It involves vision, passion, and an incredible amount of hard work. And that's what our next guest helps other people strive for. Joining me now is performance and mindset coach, presenting powerfully, Debbie Lundberg. Debbie, it is always so great to see you.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Gayle.
So when we were putting together the Millionaire Mindset show, I'm like, we got to get Debbie, because you do this day in and day out. You work with people to help them level up in life.
It's true. So many people don't realize what their capacity really is. And so when you allow them to see it, visualize it, and then put plans in action, they're going to realize it if they do the work.
And a lot of people, as soon as you say oh, millionaire mindset, does that mean I have to be rich and have all this money in the bank? You say no.
I say no, because the millionaire mindset is not about money. It's about success for you. What does that mean? Does that mean more time, more energy, more luxury, more experiences? All of that plays into it. So if your millionaire mindset is that you have afforded yourself the idea or the currency of time with your family, then you're winning, you're succeeding. So it's not to compare against anybody else, because their mindset may be about money, but let's face it, it's penny pinching if you're thinking only about the little bits of money and can you get there. It's all about what your overall experience in life is.
And you talk about expending energy, and doing that in the wrong direction means focusing on what other people are doing. I mean, as soon as you start comparing yourself to others, you're taking away from your own opportunity to level up.
You are, Gayle, and comparison is crippling. You only want to compare yourself to your best. And what's wrong with celebrating other people's success? When you see it, you can be inspired by it. You can aspire to do some of those things, but there's no point in thinking, oh, I'm not this good. You're as good as you are willing to be, and then you decide what you are going to apply and how you will be your best. So if it's your best against your best, that's a positive comparison. The minute you turn that energy into you against another individual, it's detrimental.
It is. I remember my older brother, when I was first getting into this industry, he's like, focus on your ball. Don't look at what they're doing or how they're batting. You need to focus on what you're doing. And it really does help you, stay in a positive mindset, which is another big part of it, which I'm not always great at. Sometimes I get in my own head and tell myself I'm not good enough. Clearly you work with people like that all the time.
All the time. And your brother's come up before when we've been on, and he has that millionaire mindset, and he's coached you well. So it's okay that we have a doubt every once in a while. That doesn't mean you're being negative. It means you're gaining perspective. So when you have that moment, allow it to process through and say, now what will I do to be my best? Now what action will I take? Schedule it. Do it. become it, so that all of those doubts that we have, it doesn't mean we're necessarily negative. It means we're human, and we're realistically thinking about, am I in the right position? Am I doing enough to be my best? And by offering that to yourself, you're going to stay humble. You're not going to get overly confident, which we often call cocky, and that's not the millionaire mindset, to be cocky.
Yeah, no, it is not. It's not. So I want to kind of double back to what you just touched on. You said start making an actionable plan, like putting things on your calendar. Like you're not going to change unless you take the steps to change.
You're not. The whole idea of only think it and it will happen is a wonderful thought. It's not actionable. So once we think it, we can visualize it. Once we visualize it, we have that out there. We can make a plan either back from that vision or up toward the vision. We all have a different way we do it. And so once you put that in place, work toward it by having bits and actionable energy that you spend, how much time, how much focus, what are you willing to do and not do. And once you know those boundaries, push the boundaries a little bit more, get outside of that comfort zone and keep growing. So if you don't have a plan in mind, millionaire does sound like money. And if you have a mindset for success that drives you forward, you're celebrating others, you're planning things, you're surrounding yourself with people who are of a like mind, you're growing that network that you have, not because you want to be around those people, but because you're like-minded and you want to succeed and you want to give them something. They become your community.
Right.
And then you're a contributor. And then you're a mindset community of millionaire mindset community and success and growth, and it perpetuates.
Well, I always love following you on social media because speaking of community, you're great at getting out there, bringing people together and championing other people, which is fantastic. And we appreciate your advice on Bloom, Debbie.
Thank you for having me on again, Gail.
Of course. And you can find Debbie's story on bloomtampabay.com. Bloom's Millionaire Mindset Edition continues right after the break. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Living life with a millionaire mindset doesn't mean you have to be rich like Warren Buffett. A luxury life can be how you experience it. Joining me now is luxury expert and the author of Attention Pays: How to Drive Profitability, Productivity, and Accountability, Neen James. Neen, what a pleasure it is to have you on Bloom.
G'day, what a treat it is to be able to serve you and your viewers.
Thank you, thank you. I know you have a lot of people that love you and really appreciate what you bring to the table. So I want to talk about the research study that you did on luxury mindset. You said it just doesn't boil down to one mindset. It's actually four.
Right. When I was growing up, I always thought luxury was a mindset. And understand, I'm from what they call a caravan in Australia, which I think we call a trailer in the US. And so, but I always thought you could make luxury every day. And so I thought it was a mindset. Well, when I commissioned a research study, I found there's not one, there is actually four mindsets. And all of our viewers would be one of those particular mindsets.
So talk me through the different mindsets, because I want to, and then I want to see maybe where I fall in all of this.
Okay, the first one is what we call the reluctant and the removed.
Okay.
To them, luxury is hard. They think brands don't understand them. They're overwhelmed, overstressed, no time for luxury.
Okay.
That's reluctant and removed. The second one is the pro-prioritizer, and we call them that because of their profession. For them, luxury is power. They think that investing in luxury gives them more confidence, so they use it for their career and their reputation.
Okay.
What's important for brands to know about them is sustainability is really important to them. And then the third is the confident and the content. And to them, they say, you know what, I've got this. And they believe their personal and professional lives are great. They don't need luxury, but they enjoy it to create memories with others.
Okay.
And then the next one, which might resonate with you, is the luxury lover. The luxury lover says, I'm worth it. They believe in luxury every day, sharing it, advocating for it. They are brilliant brand ambassadors because they want to share the experience with everyone. They want exclusive, behind the scenes, a peek behind the curtain with brands. So when we think about our viewers, our brands, everyone has all four in their team and in their client set. But understanding your luxury mindset allows you to then also speak the luxury mindset of ones you want to attract.
Interesting, interesting. So let's talk about how the experience plays into all of this, because for me on a personal level, sure, I would be lying if I didn't say I like material things. I do. But to be honest with you, I really enjoy life experiences more than anything. Like, I got to go to the Drake concert with my daughters.
I saw it on Insta. It looked so fun. So fun.
And I looked around and I'm like, this is a great experience, one that I'll never get back, you know.
And here's the thing with luxury. What came through, no matter what mindset you have, is two things were true with every single mindset. Luxury is about experiences, not things.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. And the second thing was luxury is a reward for hard work. So when you think about it, luxury for some might be how they set up their morning routine. And maybe they drink out of a nicer teacup maybe, or a coffee mug, and it just makes their morning special. But for others, it might be the luxury of time. For others, it might be the luxury of creating memories with someone. So it's always about experiences. We all know that thoughts create feelings. So what I wanted to do was do a research study, the only one in the world of its kind, on how people think about luxury. Because once we know how they think, we can then understand how do we make people feel. Luxury makes you feel a certain way, whether it's a Drake concert, where you've got memories forever, or whether it is the things that you like to use. But it's not about expensive, it's about experiences.
And you kind of brought a setup of what your desk
This
looks
is my
like.
desk,
I love it.
I think how we start our morning is really important. So things like the kind of cup that you drink out of. I choose Tiffany because I love Tiffany, but it might be your favorite team mug, right? Ecos, this is a woman-owned business, local to Tampa. I love burning her candles because it's just a lovely way to be grateful in the morning. I have a gratitude journal that I write in every single day, a normal journal, but even things like the little coasters you use, the hand cream, doesn't have to be expensive, but this is some things that you could elevate your morning routine. The robe you wear, the glass that you drink out of, little tiny touches to make yourself realize you're worth it.
I like that because you get a visual start. And to your point,
Exactly.
it doesn't have to be the most expensive, but you lay it out like this and all of a sudden you feel special and it's part of the experience.
Exactly. You know when you stay in a lovely hotel, like the Tampa Edition is a beautiful local place. People can go have a great coffee there and have it elevated. But you know that experience where you feel when you sleep on those beautiful sheets and you're experienced by the way that they greet you? We can bring that into our everyday, not only for ourselves, but the people we care about and the teams that we serve.
Yeah, you make me think of, speaking of hotels, I went to the Gasparilla Inn down in Boca Grande. And I thought, wow, they would really go old school on the experience. You know, it's been there. It's a generational hotel. And you're right. You go there and I'm like, wow, this must have been what my grandmother would experience back in the day when she would go. And it's interesting how the experience really sticks. It resonates.
Luxury is how you make people feel. It is 100%. Luxury is about experiences, not things.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to have you on Bloom. I hope you come back.
It would be a privilege. I would love that.
All right, absolutely. We're going to share Neen's story on BloomTampaBay.com. And before we go to break, it's time for today's Bloom Trivia question. Who is the richest person in the world? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, or Bernard Arnault? We'll have the answer later on Bloom.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
Welcome back to Bloom. Now is the perfect time to refresh and renew your home with uniquely crafted custom windows and doors. Here to tell us more is Renewal by Andersen's Vice President of Marketing, Chelsea Zerpola. Chelsea, it's always such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to see you as well.
So a lot of people are looking to give their home a new look. Can Renewal by Andersen customized windows fit to specific needs or styles?
Absolutely. I think some of the struggle out there is we like those new trendy black frames that we talk about, but oftentimes the HOAs really have a big say in what we can put on the outside of our home. The great thing about Renewal by Andersen is that you can have the colors that you want on the inside different from the colors that you have on the outside. So definitely accommodating that style, that curb appeal, chic for you.
And you know, for people who don't know what they want, you have design consultants come in, meet with the person one-on-one and kind of talk them through the hottest trends or help them make selections, because for some people, they don't know where to even start.
Absolutely. It's a big process. It's a big project. And you want to make sure that you're working with the right company that's going to take you through not only giving you advice, but listening. I think oftentimes we don't listen enough, and it allows us to be able to better understand for you, what are you looking for? How can we be a solution for you and your project?
And I think it's also very important, because consumer beware in today's climate, you really need to know who you're dealing with, which is why we love having Renewal by Andersen on Bloom, because this is a turnkey experience.
Absolutely. From our design consultants coming to the home, to us being able to give you all of those suggestions for your project, to pulling the permits once you've decided on the project, all the way to making sure that our installers are installing it perfectly. We want to make sure to delight our customers from start to finish without any concern at all.
And also, when you're making an investment in your home, you want to make sure it stands the test of time. And what I love about Renewal by Andersen is that your product has been tested and given a stamp of approval.
Absolutely, in many different aspects, from an energy efficiency perspective to the best indoor air quality perspective, but also that beautiful curb appeal as well. So we want to take it through the whole process to make sure that we're being the best product for our customers' homes and for them.
Now, do you offer financing offers?
We definitely do. We have financing offers that we offer. You can find more about that on our site, www.rbafla.com, but it allows you to make this project more affordable. You can also phase your job. Say that you just want to do the front of your home this time around, and then the back of your home later on. We make it very, very easy for you to make that decision.
And again, not only are you making your home more beautiful, you're making it more energy efficient, and you're also protecting it from Florida's, harsh climate.
Absolutely. Our windows are coastal impact. It allows you to feel safe in your home. We have the strongest frame, so we have Fibrex 2 times stronger than vinyl. So it allows you to have an expansive view, not feeling like you're boxed in with some of the competitors because they have to have these very thick frames. We have very chic frames, letting you enjoy that beautiful view.
That is really fantastic. Well, Chelsea, as always, we appreciate when you come on Bloom to share this incredible news with our viewers.
Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. Head to rbafla.com or call 813-377-3136 for more details about custom coastal impact windows and doors. Take advantage of this limited time offer and call today to set up your complimentary design consultation. Mention code BLOOM when calling to receive an additional 5% off your project. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
Welcome back. Many of us are on the day-to-day grind, punching our time cards on the job. And yes, we might dream of being entrepreneurs, but maybe we just don't have the mindset. Joining me now is young entrepreneur, creator of the Gala Life, Alexia Gonzalez. It is so great to see you, Alexia.
You too, Gayle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, when we were putting the show together, and my executive producer, Elizabeth, is like, we should get Alexia's perspective. And I agree, because you're coming at it from a young mind, a place where I could look back and think, gosh, I wish I could have done it that way. I stepped immediately into corporate America, and you said your parents did the very same thing.
Yeah, so my parents were actually in broadcast in the Hispanic media industry my whole life. So I grew up from an early age wanting to be on camera, wanting to do that kind of thing. I started acting and hosting, and then I realized, okay, I guess I have to do the corporate route. I can't want to be an artist. I have to have a corporate job like my parents do. And I did that, went to college, started that route for a few years, and just felt really boxed in. And I love to do so many things. I love to create in various ways. So I actually was fired from my last corporate job because I was trying to do other things outside of the corporate cubicle. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because it forced me to take that step and to lose that imposter syndrome, which is such a limiting belief for many of us, and just start and take the first step, start my own business, and do what I want for myself. And it's the best move I ever made, just taking that leap.
I think that's really cool. And I will tell you that your story resonates with me because when I first got into the industry, and this is back, you know, I'm going to really date myself here, Alexia.
Oh, stop.
But it was in the late 80s that I got into this. And when I came to Tampa, you know, it was early 90s. And back then in our industry, you could think outside the box. There was that platform to do that. But as more and more mergers and acquisitions come, corporate America becomes almost like a rubber stamp. Yeah. There's a formula into the way that we do things. And so you can lose your creativity or your opportunity to shine with your gifts. So talk to me about your pivot and what made you decide to like take your, and how did you achieve success doing so?
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, I was kind of forced into making the transition, but I thought, you know, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to focus on those things that I've always said I wanted to achieve. So that lends itself to manifesting and that millionaire mindset, because once you start really believing, like in my mind, I'm Gayle Guyardo on my podcast, which I just launched, The Galavision, and I pretend, you know, like it's my morning show, it's my talk show, and I really construct that reality doing that. And so that's what I did when I started my own business. I said, I'm going to do all the things that I love and not box myself into just, you know, I was in marketing previously, just a marketing gal. Now I can take a little bit of all of these aspects of communications, public relations, hosting, content creation, and just do what I love and try to inspire and empower other people while doing so by putting out positive intention with the work that I do. And so taking that step, getting rid of imposter syndrome, as I mentioned, which is such a limiting belief. You tell yourself, I can't do this. I can't own my own business. Yes, you can. It's really quite easy to get started if you just have the faith in yourself. And, you know, looking for clients, you build it and they will come. People will come to you if they see that you're emitting this positive, whatever it's you're creating, whatever business you're in, they'll come if you start building it in that positive way. And that's what I've noticed. So before it was like desperation, struggling. Now I live in this confidence knowing that if I'm just putting out that creation wholeheartedly and those things that I love to do and I'm passionate about, the universe will reward me.
Alexia, amazing. I love our conversations. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. Always such a pleasure.
Of course. And we're going to share Alexia's story on our website, and we'll be back with the answer to today's trivia question right after the break. It's time for today's Bloom Trivia question. Who is the richest person in the world? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, or Bernard Arnault? The answer is Bernard Arnault. As of just a few days ago, SpaceX and Tesla's Elon Musk lost his spot as the richest person in the world. Arnault is the CEO of the French luxury goods group LVMH, and he is worth $210.8 billion. Mere chump change. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. Of course, you can stream episodes anytime on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Well, we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're going to help you become the best version of yourself with the help of a man who works with people around the world. And we'll tell you about a new video game designed to help your children fight depression. So stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by Marina Point and Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.